Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Tacoimposters for January 22nd, 23rd, 2022. Trying to sleep the damn computer, but it keeps turning back on. Just sleep the damn thing. God, just sleep. Go to sleep, stupid computer. But yeah, what was I gonna talk about? What was I gonna say? I don't know. I was just thinking about different things. Yeah, so like one thing I was thinking about was I've been watching MASH. Oh my god, I hate this thing so much. You touch the mouse like even a tiniest bit, and it decides to turn the whole damn computer on. You screw with me. Where is it? There. Move the damn mouse away. So anyway, yeah, I like the show. Everybody was talking about, or at least a lot of people that I heard about would say things like it's a really depressing show. It seems like a depressing show, and to a certain extent, it is a slightly depressing show. But it's not that bad. It's okay. It is what it is. It's fine. It's not great, but it's good. I like it. It's not the best show, but I like it. So anyway, and what else? I don't know. I guess I don't know. Yeah. Then I found some like movie books about movie making, books about like analyzing movies, books about all that stuff. One's called How to Understand Movies, I think. And the other one is called The Portable Film School. Everything you'd learn in film school. The Portable Film School, yeah. Everything you learn from, yeah. Without ever going to class, yeah. Cause there's another one, and it's called Guerrilla Film School or something, where it's kind of like, would you need to go to film school? And my dad's kind of gotten that idea of like, said that too, where it's like, said the thing where it's like, just, if you can learn the information, you don't need to go to, college or film school or whatever. And I think that's going to get to the point. It's going to one day get to the point, right, where it's going to get to the point where they're not going to care. They're, like, we're going to fully not care whether you go to film school or not. My friend, like, 4 years ago made that same point. He was like, somebody I knew 4 years ago said 4 years ago that it's going to stop being, do you have a degree? Because it's literally like, it doesn't matter if you don't even know what you're doing. If you have a piece of paper that says you do, fine, done. You'll automatically be making more money than somebody who doesn't. Which is kind of stupid, but, I mean, what are you going to do, right? It's not, it's what they were doing. Now, it's like, oh, or, I think soon. I don't know how soon that soon is. Could be 5 years from now. Could be 3 years from now. Could be a month from now. I don't know. Could be tomorrow. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, it'll be more like, can you do this for me? I don't care if you've been to wherever or gone to whatever. Can you do this for me? And we'll want it like a Fiverr kind of setup where it's like, just give me this service, render me the service, or make me this thing. It doesn't matter if you have the qualifications to do so. Just do it for me. Because I don't care. As long as you do exactly as I want you to, it's good. Right? It's fine. I don't care. So, I mean, what were they going to say? Yeah, so, yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen. And the film school is the one that's, like, I've read this book, and so far, I have to do something with the one that's saying about it, so I might actually do that exercise that I should be doing. Anyway, and it's like, okay, and it's like, yeah, you can go, this book's kind of showing, yeah, you can do the whole thing without actually going to film school, and then without going to film school. And then there was a guerrilla film school, and I read one thing about it. It was like a excerpt, or it was like a thing from two different, I don't know if you call them, not testimonials, but it's like I don't know, they just got two females, and both had like a different kind of weird Well, they both basically said the same thing. Now that I remember, it's kind of like it depends on what you want to do. If you want to get in there quickly and go from one to the next, yes, go to film school because you'll get a little bit because you'll be able to also pick your what's it called, your discipline, and be like, okay, well, I want to do this, and then you can get to that part faster in air quotes, in quotes faster, quote unquote faster. But the other thing is, they said if you don't and you're willing to wait a little bit longer, you're gonna have to also convince a lot of more people that you have the capabilities to do so. Because that's the thing. It doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't matter if you actually know that. If you just have the piece of paper or you just have the credentials to say that makes it look like you know more, or at least you've been through at least something, they think, oh, well, you must be better than everyone else, or you must be better than the guy next to you who hasn't. Where in retrospect, whereas if you really look at it, you both could be either at the same level, or the guy who didn't go to school could actually know more than you. But because that one thing, made it out to look like you know more, the guy thinks you're better. You're inherently, or you get more opportunities based on that fact, and the other guy doesn't. So if you're willing to convince more people, hey, I can do this or whatever, then yeah. And yeah, you don't have to go to film school necessarily. At that time, though, or whenever the book was made, I think there wasn't as much self-taught, Skillshare type of places to learn it. And I don't think YouTube was even a thing. Maybe, I don't remember, the book was actually written, the Guerrilla Warfare book. This one is 2005, the Portable Film School. And there was no YouTube, I don't think. Even if YouTube was a thing, nobody was doing it the way like today. And there's nothing to learn off of from there. And then the other one, which is How to Understand Film, he's 1995, because it's the 7th edition or something. Was originally done 1975, I think? Or 70 something. Anyway. Yeah, so none of them have great, what's it called, reasons that way, but they do kind of say, you don't have to go to film school to make a film. No, that's 100% true. It's just one of those things that's you don't have to be a mechanic to fix a car or to build a car. Will you know how to build a car properly? Will it be a good, high-end, high-quality, high-functioning, or nicely functioning car? Maybe not. Probably not. But probably not. But you don't have to go to do these things. It'd be like saying, technically, now this one's a big stretch, but you don't have to go to medical school to open someone up, to cut someone up, cuts it open. It's yeah, that one was because that's the one that everyone argues will almost never be able to do without going to medical school. There's two. There's or three. There's doctor, engineer, and lawyer, where they're nah, you need to go to school for those things. And it's weird, because it's now the doctor I understand. The other two is I could see that the other two just end up being this thing where you can learn it all on your own. I don't know how feasible that would be. But yeah. And then doctor, I feel like doctor's going to be the one that sits there and that holding on for dear life, these medical schools are the last places that exist from these things. It's oh, well, you need to go to medical school to do this properly. I know a few people in medical school, I feel like that's a thing that's gonna hold on for dear life, and everyone else is gonna be oh, they're gone. But also, just think about it. Just take a second and think about it. Right? How, would you trust someone who's never gone to medical school? Even if he knows 100% what he's doing, 100%, down to a T, it just sounds you're just a little sketchy. You're I don't know, man. Would I trust you? Would I trust, that thing? I don't know. It's just weird, it's weird that way. Although the other ones where it's not, critical, as in, you're not doing something with someone's life. You're yeah, sure. why not? I don't care. Or like, I could do it. Like, because it's like a bunch of like, because if you think about an engineer, right? Engineer. No, I'm not saying this is only what an engineer is, but it's a lot of math. So if you just know the math, I feel like we could trust everything. Oh yeah, and one day you'll just have like, because what'll happen is you'll have the like sectors of people. First, it'll start with the sectors of people like there's a whole bunch that went to school for this thing, and there's a whole bunch who didn't. Now I'm not talking medical. That's the one exception. That'll be the one exception. But anything else, and then I just think it'll just be less and less and less people going to going to school for it for these things. So that's my opinion. No, I don't know if I don't want to predict that it'll get to zero, but because I don't know, right? I don't know, would it end up being zero? I don't know. I feel like there'd still be certain people who'd want to go to school to do it. You know, right? I don't know. That's just my opinion. I have no idea how it's really going to roll, but right? So, what was I saying? Yeah. So, like freelance, whatever, will be a big thing in the future. I think, like Fiverr, right? A lot of Fiverr stuff will be huge. It'll be like. Also, you'll see a lot of people where it's like, you want a lot of. It'll be like, oh, I just need a one-time thing made for this, and I want it high quality. So, I'll just get the like high quality guy to do it off Fiverr. Like, the guy who's the high quality guy on Fiverr to do whatever. Right? Whether it's I don't know, video editing or I don't know, video editing or I'm trying to think of something that would like be equivalent to like video editing, where like you could have just I just need it once and get a guy to do it, rather than and not take super long time. Make you a logo, make you a 3D render or something, make you a this, make you a that, that kind of thing. Where it's like I just need it for one thing quickly, like or fairly quickly, like yeah, I can see that happening very much. So yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not saying going to school will be useless, but I think just like like the idea of like you're better or you can be paid more just based on the fact that you went to school. Like it doesn't matter if you know anything from school. You literally could have slept the whole time. You literally could never show up to any class, but you have somehow passed it and have a certificate that's shows I went to this school. Done. You're automatically gonna make money. It's like I think that like mentality is gonna like start to like dwindle, and you might end up getting to like almost a zero of like I don't care. And certain industries might be like I don't care. I literally don't care. Like I literally don't care if you've been to school or not. Can you do this for me? You know, especially in I'm not talking like the freelancing industries. Like I know a freelance videographer and a few freelance photographers. Well, okay, don't know them too well, but anyway, photographers. Anyway, and so it's like um, yeah. So I could see it like that, or like a 3D rendering person, or like a product maker, or like a someone making stuff, or like somebody who has a 3D printer, or something, stuff like that. Where it's like these are not critical jobs where you need to know your information like perfectly well, and also know it like really. You work, have done all this stuff for years. No, it's just things that you can like learn on your own. You know. Yes. Yes. 100%. Like 100%. A writer guy needs to write you a little whatever, a blurb, a blah, 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 or something. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that. Yeah. So that's like what I think of all that. Also, the like mixed ideas you get in college and in university anyway. People are just gonna realize or gonna think, what's the no? I'm not gonna do it to get random blah 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 whatever. Like, which fair enough. I mean, don't get me wrong, fair enough. Even if you don't think it horribly, you just like no, just mixed information, mixed ideas. Like I'm talking like, ugh. You'll be like, no, I don't care for it anyway. Yeah, anyway, because a lot of things like that. So, yeah, yeah. And I think that it's going to be the medical, it's going to be becoming a doctor or a nurse, where it's going to sit there and that like hold the grasp of like nobody's going to take you seriously because they're going to be like, no, this is actually stupid. If you don't go to medical school, you don't go to college to be a doctor, you don't go to medical school. Which fair enough. I mean, that's like a really critical thing. And then other things are going to just sit there that are like, well, why don't we keep this one and that one and whatever, and then but I do think there could be a point where like medical is one of the only ones that becomes like this mandatory, like, no, you have to have gone to medical school, and that's it. Like, there's no, you can't teach yourself medical. You can't go on like some class on Skillshare and learn, how to be a doctor. It's not a thing. So yeah, which fair enough, And I don't know if you'd ever be able to do that. In theory, but just think about it. Like I said, would you take it seriously if somebody hadn't? I'd probably be like, huh? What? I don't know. Right? It's like, I don't know. Right. But then again, it's like, yeah, but he or she could know everything about it. But nope, it doesn't matter if he or she could know everything about it, right? Just because he or she could know everything about it doesn't mean that they're going to. Doesn't mean that you're going to like agree or you're going to trust them or it's just weird. That's anyway. But I do think college will be, or it'll be the opposite where everybody thinks it's useless. Like everybody's just like, no, I'm not going to college. I don't want college, and where they'll make it so that all the colleges become obsolete because nobody goes to them anymore, right? You know what I mean? It's like no one's going to college, so and then like cause all the places to like not be a relevant anymore. That I could see that happening too. I could see that happening. Yeah. So I could see that happening. Yeah. So. So. Yeah. I just feel like that could be it. Yep. Let's go back to the film school stuff where, because I said that on Discord and Instagram, but I said on Discord, please help me because I'm going to read it, but I don't, but I want you to help me stay accountable so that I can actually read it, because I got it like 2019, I think, I believe. So, the book, The Portable Film School, it's like, but I want to be able to actually read it. So, hold me accountable and say, and just every so often ask me, did you read your book? Did you read your film book? So, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. I don't know. Also, I feel like there's a lot of things where it's going to be a bunch of this learning on the job kind of stuff that we're going to like realize, oh my gosh, I just don't even need any of this. Like, I don't need to go and do whatever. I can just learn on the job. It's so like stupid simple. And there'll be whole like, I feel like there'll be whole like YouTube channels or certain things like that where like production companies are coming around where it's just like, you want to learn how to do it? You want to learn how to become a XYZ? You'll take a year and just learn how to become whether it's an editor or a writer or a cameraman or a lighting person or a sound person or whatever, I can see that happening. Like, you want a really good place to learn how to like do sound, good place, at least around my area of the world. You go to like a Protestant church, and holy crud, holy moly! I mean, you just learn how to do sound. It's great. It's actually amazing. It's so good. Like, it's crazy. How like wow, okay, like wow, 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 wow. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, is it the best place? I don't know, but I know quite a few people who have done it that way. Well, a few people have done it that way. It's like wow, okay, like, okay then. Um, yeah. So for the production, or like, yeah. So yeah, I feel like that's what could happen. So yeah, 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 yeah. Well, because that's the other thing too. You're going to get a lot of more people who want or who are like learn. Because what I've learned from looking up little bits and pieces and things here and there about stuff like art school or film school or stuff like that, you learn that you do a lot more of just like wide variety of things. I mean, yes, you can choose like a discipline. I want to be a this, but a lot of times it's like, oh, you got to learn how to do all of this, like the wide spectrum of things in that. What do you call it? Uh, no, what do you call it? In that major, whatever you're gonna do, and then yeah, like in art school, I learned you do like all of anatomy, and you learn this, and you learn that, so you do a whole wide range, and you do like sculpting, and you do all this other stuff that like you're like, but I don't care, I just want to do this one thing. I know I want to do this one thing, so why can't I just and yeah, and I feel like if we learn it ourselves, there are gonna be a lot of people who just know like one thing, which I mean isn't bad per se, one thing, but it isn't bad, but just as like, ooh, I don't know. But I always found that comes out useless. I don't know. And then in film school, like as a film, whatever, you're gonna learn how to direct. You're gonna learn how to write. You're gonna learn how to make a movie. You're gonna learn how to produce a movie. You're gonna learn how to do all these things. And it's like, I don't care. I just want to be a, I don't know, cameraman, or I just want to be a sound guy, or I just want to be a prop master, or I just want to be a whatever, makeup artist. But there was a general like, from what I've looked up so far, is a lot of this like learning general things, general parts of the movie making process. And then there's like a section where you pick what you want to do. Or at least that's what I've looked up. It could be different in different schools and different places and different things, but that's what I've looked at so far, and like that's what I've gotten, the information I've gotten so far from the places I've looked up. So for me, it was like, oh, okay. What's it called? Yeah. So is it? So I'm gonna feel like there's gonna be a lot of people who like, I just want to learn how to use a camera. That's it. That's all. I don't want to like learn how to write anything. I don't want to write nothing. I just want to be the cameraman. That's it. Or I want to learn how to edit, and that's it. I'm a great editor, and all I want to do. I don't want to do like every other part of it. Or I just want to write. I just want to be a writer. I don't want to be an editor. I don't want to be a cameraman. I just want to write someone's some ideas, whether it's for YouTube videos or scripts or whatever. So you're gonna get a lot of these like very direct people. Oh, this guy, this is. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't see it being like awful. Then again, I'm not in the industry, so I don't know how the industry actually really runs. But yeah. So, you know, I'm just like thinking like, and that doesn't, to me as a layman who's never done any of this stuff really in a higher end capacity, higher up capacity, to me as a layman it seems like, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's too bad. So, what was I going to say? I have no idea. So yeah, so that's gonna happen. Because there's a whole section of the book that's, don't turn back on. Stupid computer, turn back on again. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the whole section of the book where it's like every director is every writer is a director, which makes sense when you think about it. Because he makes the whole point of saying um, You expect, like, every writer should. Oh my god, I hate it so much. Millimeter, and it like decides to turn the whole damn computer back on. Stupid mouse, or touch any button or something. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, every writer should direct their own movie because like you're writing it completely differently. You're writing it completely differently if you're writing it for someone else. Basically, if you're writing it for a director, it becomes a thing where you start writing it completely differently. Like, okay, I gotta like write it so I explain exactly what I mean by that. If you want him to like understand exactly what you're saying. Otherwise, he'll take the whole thing and completely like not do whatever he wants, but like he'll interpret it the way he wants to do it, and then he'll just do it his way. Just like kind of like, you know, which you know, be fine with. It's kind of like how I don't remember who said it, but somebody said, maybe it might have been J.K. Rowling or one of those like book writers, authors said like once you've created something, you have no control over that anymore. People can do whatever they want with it. It's not your thing anymore, really. They can interpret it and see it and have it and be it whatever way they want. Which is kind of like true. But also it's like, but no, you had a way of writing it. So I don't get what that really means, but okay. So, I mean, so yeah. So he's basically saying like, be prepared to direct your own writings so that you can write it whatever you want and then direct it whatever you want because you know how you want it to be done, right? Which makes sense. Makes sense. Not everybody's like that though, so sometimes you will get not like that. You won't want to do it. I mean, oopsies. I mean, so right. So I understand what he's trying to get at. He's trying to get at the fact that like, well, then you don't have to have a whole separate section on like, well, how do I make it so that this person wants it and or understands what I'm saying and all that. Sorry. How do I make it so that the person understands what I'm saying, right? And how to interpret it properly. And you're writing it in a slightly different way. Whereas if you just wrote it for yourself, like if you were going to direct your own thing, you're going to realize, oh, that makes so much sense in the sense that I can just do whatever I want. Like I know what I want with it. I can direct it the way I want to. It's easy, right? It makes sense. I understand everything I'm trying to say, right? I don't know if that's some other guy have to interpret what I'm saying. Or maybe have to be there and be like, well, no, 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 no. I wanted it to be like this, not like that. I want this, not that. Right? Dang it. Yeah. So. Right? So. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to talk about now. I don't know what else to talk about, not really. But, yeah. Because I want to, because okay, you want to know what my dream is? I always wanted to make a movie, a book, a TV show, a video game. And I wanted to do an animated movie, an animated movie, 2D, 3D, hand drawn, and stop motion. So like 4 or 5 different versions. And a live action movie, a video game, a TV show. It'd be so great. Or maybe just like an episodic thing. Maybe not necessarily a TV show, because by the time I get around to doing like something like a TV show, I feel like TV shows will be dead, and like nobody will actually do like traditional TV shows. It'll be like traditional TV shows are basically dead already, but I mean more like a thing on like either YouTube or just something, or like Netflix or Amazon Prime or HBO Max or whatever, just some sort of episodic something or other. I have like episode 1 of something, but the problem is I don't know what I'm doing with it. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing with the next episode. I should have already started an episode by now, but anyway, if I was going to do another one, but anyway, and the first one's like garbage, and there's lots of problems with it, but apparently there are ways I might be able to fix this thing that I've done. So we'll see about that. I'll try not to figure that out. I'll have to see. But what was I saying? yeah, so that was my dreams. Yeah. I started writing story, like a book, kind of, not really. It was a weird story, and it didn't really go anywhere. Excuse me. So, and I tried like video game stuff, and it's like, oh my god, this is confusing and complicated. Can't I just have something simple? Anyway, yeah. Because I started writing that thing, that's storybook, whatever you want to call it. It never actually came to light. But on one of those, here's what we can talk about. Okay, those like, because I had a thing where it was like it's like a word processor basically, and all it was basically was, it's like a printer slapped onto the back of a typewriter. That's basically what it is. A daisy wheel typewriter, right? And yeah, and a printer just attack like jerry rigged onto the back of it. It's kind of a little like weird. It's like seems like but I mean it's a really interesting idea because they actually still make them today, or like you could at least still buy some of them. I don't know if they still make them, but you can still buy them, and it's cool because I thought it's basically like if you just stripped down like Word to just using it. This one ran on not ran on, but like you could save it on a floppy disk, and I think it had its own. I'm trying to remember now because I think it had its own like weird shaped floppy disk, but then now that I think about it, maybe it didn't actually. Anyway, but you could on floppy disk. But like that's the thing. I'd love to like have one where it just like ran on like a either USB disk or on like some sort of like internal. Well, I was gonna say internal hard drive, but what's the point of that? The whole point to like be able to like transfer stuff off. Maybe SD card. Maybe SD card. Or micro SD card. Yeah, I could see something like that. Or have like a really low end, like very, 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 very low end like PC, like so like a Raspberry Pi type of thing in it where it's like it's not really running anything. It just has enough power to like Wi-Fi so you can connect it, or like wireless Bluetooth or something. You could like transfer things off of it. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but they do. So they do exist, and I'm like, that'd be so cool to get because I could just like write it. Because that's the other thing too. It's not just that you like 100% output what you want. You output it, but you could also do it in such a way that you just write it all on your on the like PC, on the like quote unquote PC or word processing side, and then you just like click a button and it like spits it out onto the piece of paper. It's not really a printer. It's more of a typewriter, and a computer had like a very low end baby, like a baby that like very basic connection together. Now I'd like to see actually, you know what? I'd like to see a printer on the back of like a typewriter. But I mean an actual printer, so you like put lots of sheets of paper in it, and then just like have the thing just start printing out your story, like, right? That would be interesting. Or your thing you're printing out. That would be interesting. I know those things exist on like computers, like from like the 80s and 90s, but it's not really a thing that happens anymore. I mean, I've seen these portable like printers, and they're like interesting, but they're not exactly what I want. I want like an all-in-one unit, so I don't have to like worry about different things, forget something or run out of something or whatever. Because they're an interesting idea. Because when I used it, I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. I was like, oh my god, this is great! I love this. And then eventually it got rid of it. Like my mom got rid of it, I think. Like, oh, I was like, oh, why would you do that? It was so good. Although, if I still had it, I'd probably be like, oh, I need to find ribbon for it because the ribbon is it's like not easy. It's kind of horrible to have to use. Like kind of horrible to use. Like I would have run out of whatever. It would have been a hassle to use. Is what I'm saying. That's why I would love a modern version of it where you could get the ink for it still. Right? Like, I don't need anything else. I literally would only need... I wonder if you could, like... I would only need word processor and printer. That's it. Connect the two together. That's it. Like, I wonder if you could, like... take a really, like, cheap low-end screen, take a printer, and smack, like, a Raspberry Pi either connect it to the printer in physically, or just like figure out how to connect the two together, or just like wirelessly, like basically figure a way to add a screen to a printer, and then just have the Raspberry Pi connect to the printer through its because the printer probably produces a Wi-Fi, right? So you could probably connect it to the printer and then just have a portable, like, although it's not an all-in-one solution because of the whole like mouse and keyboard thing. Oh, just realized. Or just a keyboard. I don't know. You could. I was thinking maybe you could take like a mechanical keyboard, or like, it was like an all-in-one, like old 80s or 90s computers, and just like slap a screen on top of that and snap that onto a printer, maybe connected. I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. But anyway, yeah. So that's what I'd love to have. I'd love to have like one because it'd be great. They can go anywhere and just like start writing stuff, and then when you want to print it, you just like click a little button, print. You know, click a button and it prints it. Because I never ever figured out how to get that to work. I just kind of use it as a typewriter. It's like one of those like electrical typewriters. So I never got like that. Because I like figured out that you could do that, and I was like, how do you do this? And then like it was just too complicated, and I figured out how to do it like once or twice, and I was like, but what? How do I get this to do it right? And how do I save this? And how do I? And it was like, I just forget it. I'm never going to do it this way. And I didn't end up ever actually doing it that way, which is fine. It's just now if I still had it, I'd be like, okay, how do I do this properly? This would be great. This is amazing. Like it would be so cool. But anyway, that'd be a cool thing because you can buy them. But they're not exactly cheap though. They're like I think between 100 and like 500, somewhere in that like range of these like word processing all-in-one devices. These weird like the kind of word processors. You know? So. Because that's what they're called. They're just called word processors, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway. They're interesting, I guess. I don't know. I'd love to have one. But I'd love to have one that works, like, very modern, like an all-in-one device where it's, like, keyboard, some kind of way to connect to your printer, and a printer. And all-in-one unit. Because there was a video by the 8-Bit guy, and he was talking about these kind of things. And there's, like, I saw him, and I'm like, that's cool. But the one he was talking about was more of, like, a computer. So it was one of those, like, you know, I don't know if you know the, like, 80s portable computers. More like that with a printer on it. Which is kind of what I'm thinking. Something like that, you know? Low income. Which is why I would think, like, you could maybe, like, slap a Raspberry Pi into, like, a printer. Maybe, like, problem is I just want it all in one. I want something like Raspberry Pi slapped into it with a screen and a keyboard and a printer. All shoved into a printer, and then just, like, let it all hang out, and we can, like, I can bring it wherever I want, and then when I need to print it, I can just, like, click a button and poop out all the prints, all the things I need printed. It's pretty interesting. I think it'd be cool. Yeah, so that's a cool device. Because even the ones I've seen are, like, all kind of not up to date, so it wouldn't work very well because I don't know even if I got it working, like, I knew how to use it, I would have the problem of, like, well, where would I find, like, the ribbons or the ink or the whatever. So I just want portable. It's like some of the, like, scanners, right? I was watching a video about somebody talking about scanners, and it's just like, yeah, can I just, like, not, can I just have that? I'd love, because I've always wanted, like, a hand scanner, but no hand scanner ever worked, like, super well, or perfectly well, like flatbeds worked. So it was just like, Because he even brought the point up of, he's saying, like, these hand scanners never work, like, 100% perfectly, super well. I'd use a hand scanner that just had a battery in it. Like, seriously. connects to Bluetooth, has a battery in it. I would do that. It'd be great. I could store, I don't know, a couple of documents in like its memory or whatever, or in its like internal storage or whatever. It'd be good, you know? And I was like, yeah, that's actually not bad. It's not a bad idea. Although the whole point of these like hand scanners is either convenience of like quickness, time convenience, or size where it's like it's way too big, so I can't scan it with a flatbed scanner. But like that's the problem. 90% of things you're gonna scan are gonna be regular sized documents. So what's it or pages, you know? So what's the problem here? I don't know. I've always like wanted one of those, but I've like realized for $40 or $50, I'm gonna use it like what 3 times or something dumb like that. Where it's like I'm never gonna use it. Like I don't care. I'm never gonna use this. I know that. I use like once and just be like whatever. I'm done. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'd like. I'd like a device like that. Now, if these kind of things exist, please tell me, because I'd love it. I'd buy one. No, I was gonna say I'd buy one like that, like that, but no, because if they do exist, they're like kind of expensive, and at that point, you could just. That's the other thing. You could find a place that would print out your thing. So what's the point here? Just write it on like a phone or a tablet or a laptop or something, and then just get it printed when you need it printed, right? Because you'd probably I'd probably be the person someone who would realize, oh, I'm actually not printing nearly as much as I thought I would. So, because those kind of devices would probably be expensive, and it wouldn't be cost effective to do that. You'd be like, okay, at this point, just get a friggin' like laptop or tablet or phone even, and just write it down, and then just print it when you need it printed, right? So because we used to print all the time. My family used to print all the time, and then we hit this like weird point where like we started doing less and less printing, and now these days we print like almost never. Like it's ridiculous how much we just don't print anymore. Like we literally used to have like a mid-size like printing amount. It was actually like quite a lot of printing. Like medium amount. We weren't like a high amount of printing, so we didn't need like an industrial printer. Just like a mid industrial printer. Like with that, I was like literally thinking about like how can we optimize all this? How can we get the cheapest out of this? Anyway, and we looked this up like laser printers and like those high capacity. I think it's like a high capacity printer or something, or ink cartridges. Like printers had like high capacity ink cartridges. And, I don't know, just in my. Well, now we don't like print nearly like ever. So, almost never. So, in comparison to way back, like even 5 years ago, we were printing a lot. But like 10 years ago, for about 5 years, it was like holy moly, it was insane how much we printed. Like we printed so much, it wasn't even funny. It was crazy. It was absolutely nuts. So, but yeah, so maybe it'd be that. So that's the thing. It'd be some sort of like low-end computer that all it had was a word processing, and you could like save it onto like either a thumb drive or like an SD card or something maybe. Well, that's why I would think something like a Raspberry Pi would be good, because you could then like connect it to the internet and just like go to like Google Docs or go to like Google Drive or go to like something like that and just like send it up to them, or sync it with like Google Docs and then just print that page through the printer. I don't know. You'd have to see it be financially viable, like cost effective to use one. Because again, I'd probably end up being that thing where it's like I never print nearly as much as I think I do. So, not think it's a bad thing or like it'd be a waste of my time, but I think I would. I think it's a kind of thing where I think I'd use it way more than I do, and then I just use it like twice, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't care. I just don't care, right? So, right. So I don't use it ever. So, or nearly ever. So, yeah, I think that's gonna be it for now, guys. Um, yeah, yeah, I think that's it. There's in the description if you want to get in touch with me. There's the email, which is tacoimposters@gmail.com, tacoimposters@gmail.com, and then there's the two discords. And then if you want to see better quality anything, YouTube, this podcast, anything, um, there it's a Patreon. It's patreon.com/wingwong. So patreon.com/wingwong. So if you could throw me a few bucks there, I don't have any. Wow, English. I don't have any patrons yet, but if you want to see better quality anything, throw me some bucks there. So I think that'll be it for now, guys. So adios, mi amigos.